The StarCraft miniset has been out for 5 days now, so I wanted to show what I believe is the 5 best decks. First up, we have Zerg Death Knight. You want to try and get your Buccaneer down early, get Spawning Pool sometimes if you have it. I wouldn't mulligan for it, but like obviously if you have it, you play it. Then try and mulligan for Infestor. This is your best card. Sometimes the deck is too reliant on Infestor and you actually lose if you don't draw it. So really try and get this card in your mulligan. There's also a lot of outplay potential with Viper. And the deck is really fun actually. You can do crazy shit with Kerrigan sometimes. The hero power can deal like 9 damage. It's kind of crazy. And yeah, try and focus on playing Death Rattles early. Buff up your Zerg minions with Infestor. Remember to play it in your middle so you can Death Growl stuff. And yeah, that's really it. Next up, I have Shaman. I decided to go for the Fizzle version. This is more control-y. I don't play any bouncers. You basically want to try and focus on your early game by playing SCV, Gold Panners, Totems, Missile Pod. Try and get some Starship pieces down with Starport, Arcanine Defense Crystal, and Missile Pod. And that way, later you have a lot of armor gain with that and your Starship pieces, so that you could end the game with Fizzle and Triangulate. So basically you play your Fizzle, you triangulate your snapshot, and that way you have infinite snapshots. And that's really good when you have cards like Ceaseless Expanse, because this is just like a 0 mana board clear. You have Gem for damage, armor, whatever you need. Like obviously it's dependent on your Starship pieces, but he can do a lot of different things for you. You have Incendious. Like there's so many ways to win with this deck, and I currently believe that this is the best deck in the game because there's so many ways to win. What the fuck am I saying? There's a lot of ways to win with this deck. Now, I don't like that I have to include this deck, but Weapon Rogue is too good. There's not really much to say about this deck. Try and mulligan for quick pick, get it down, Swarthish Sword Shiner. And yeah, I mean, play weapon, play Sword Shiner, and buff up your weapon, go face. Then, this deck, I don't even have it crafted because it's so degenerate. I really don't like it, but it's one of the best decks in the game. There's Dungar, draw Dungar, win game. That's simple. Play ramp, play Dungar, win game. Now, this deck might be a little bit controversial, but I actually think that Warriors are really good right now. You have a little bit of early game with like Totem and Starport, and then around mid game is when you start getting a little bit better because you have Defense Crystal, new highs, you start to ramp up, and your end game is basically unwinnable. And you should be able to beat Shamans with that deck. Even though Shamans go infinite, you go infinite too, because you can Fizzle, then Solar the Fizzle, and then you always have infinite Fizzles. But you have Boombas and they don't, so you actually ruin their deck, which this deck just counters Shaman. And yeah, it's really flexible, it has a lot of ways of winning. I like this deck a lot.